Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's your boy D-Man coming back at you live with some Fallout 4 gameplay. Today we're going to be looking at, folks, the Covenant secret entrance. I'm just going to come right here and turn around and show you guys where it's located at on the map. It is between these three pipes here that is in this lake, or yeah, I guess that's a lake. It's not the ocean, but there is a lake. It's right due north of the Covenant main campsite, but in that lake, right across from it, there is these three pipes where the entrance is located, folks. And I'll bring up the map here and show you where that's at, just so that you can get a feel and get your bearings on where you need to go. So, folks, on the map, you will see that the Covenant is right here on the map, which is next to Teffington Bathhouse, or in between Teffington Bathhouse and Mystic Pines. You have the Covenant, which is a obviously going to turn out to be some type of cult or mysterious place, right? Either way, when they're asking you to find the Covenant secret location, it's part of the Human Error quest, and as you can see there, it's find the Covenant, find the location of the secret compound. And so that location, folks, is just right here through these pipes. So we're going to go ahead and walk through this door, and we're going to see what type of chaos is waiting for us inside. So just so you know, also, folks, you will get a lot of radiation as you traverse through the lake water. So it is suggested to take some Rad-X, or, you know, if you can't take any Rad-X, be sure to have some Rad-Away handy in case your radiation goes up so high. Mine didn't go up that high. I do have on a power suit, but you know, it didn't go up high enough to where I'm not worried about taking any radiation, Rad-Away or Rad-X right now. But what I'm going to do is, I didn't mean to piss these guys off. I meant to talk to them. So I'm going to go back to my auto save here and come back in and talk to these guys before I just walk up the stairs. Alright, folks, here we go again. So we just entered in through those doors. We're going to head right over to where we need to go. We're going to step up to these folks, and we're going to just talk to them.
Who are you?
I'm asking the questions. Why are you here?
I just want answers about Stockton's caravan, nothing more.
That's unfortunate. This ain't personal.
The missions must be protected.
As you can see, violence was not avoidable. Talking to these guys did not work. They are obviously, they already have their panties in a bunch, folks. So just so you know, there's no talking to these guys. You might as well come in the joint and start blasting as you walk in. Just for the sake of the audience, I'm gonna try this over. I want to try maybe taking some mentats or something, and just to see if I can get these guys to play nicely. So we're gonna try this, folks, from several different angles. The first attempt we tried to persuade them did not work. This time we're going to take some mentats and see if we can get these guys to play nice with us. You know, the Covenant, I think we're gonna wind up going back there, so it's heavily fortified, and I don't really want to waste a lot of bullets. Not that I'm, you know, I can't take them on. I could take them easily, but it would just be better if I could save the bullets. And I think, oh, I had some great mentats, which gives me +5 charisma. This should work to where if I need to persuade these guys, if they're persuadable, I should be able to persuade them.
I just want answers about Stockton's caravan, nothing more.
I'll take you to see Dr. Chambers. She'll know what to do about you. Don't try anything funny.
There you go, folks. I was able to take some mentats and persuade this guy. Now he's going to take me inside without violence. I'll probably wind up shooting my way out of this joint anyway, but at least for now, that seemed to work.
Hey.
Blythe. Hey, Blythe! Watch yourself.
Yes, what is it, Manny?
I thought you guys were done with Subject 12.
Oh yes, the interview's over. I'm just reviewing the data on question 4. It's fascinating, really.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Certainly.
I hope this guy gets moving. I'd like to, you know, have the dialogue with the next person while the mentats are still in my system.
Welcome to the compound.
The compound, eh? So you can't tell me with all this going on, these guys are heavily fortified, that this is some type of
Extend the platform. Showed up on a
friendly
doorstep.
operation.
What was I supposed to do?
You shouldn't be in here.
You should move. Because my finger is already itchy.
Stranger.
And I might just get to shooting anyway. I might not even want to get to talk to this doctor. All these guys walking around got attitudes and chips on their shoulders like they're gonna do something to the D-man. But I can tell you this much, folks. If they get out of line, I will put a bullet right in their head.
Stranger.
Alright, Doc. There we go. Let's engage in dialogue, hopefully sooner.
Hey there.
So the one investigating Stockton's caravan has arrived. Do you even know that his supposed daughter is in all likelihood a synth? No, ma'am. Let me be upfront about this. There are 2 ways this meeting can end. We come to an agreement, or there's violence.
I'd prefer a peaceful solution.
As would I. Let me pose a question to you. What would you do if your family was destroyed by a synth right in front of you when you were but a child? Would you roll over and accept it? Or would you do something about it?
It sounds like you didn't let it go.
No, I did not. It may not look like it, but there's a war being fought. As long as the Institute walks invisibly amongst us, they strike without warning and control us from the shadows. I've dedicated my life to devising a test to detect these hidden synths, to root them out so they can be extinguished. Isn't that a goal worth fighting for?
Someone needs to destroy the Institute.
A perfectly rational response. A living synth is indistinguishable from a human by any medical test yet devised. But it turns out psychology can detect a difference. Enter the safe test. The test is in its infancy, but through sacrifice and perseverance, our success rate is improving.
And the safe test works?
Oh, yes. Autopsies confirm the test is getting more accurate. There's something in the questions which provokes a response from synths, but the exact trigger is elusive. The margin of error is admittedly high, 4 or 5 false positives per synth. But one day, we hope to get it to 1 or 2 false positives.
If you can get that test to work, that could be a game changer.
And then everything we've done will be justified. Covenant is many things. A refuge for the broken people left in the wake of the Institute's rampages. A place of safety and healing. But most importantly, it is our one chance to end this age of paranoia. I will make you a deal. If you let me dispose of Stockton's synth and continue our work, I'll match whatever reward you were offered.
Wait. Covenant's a refuge?
Over the years, we've recruited like-minded individuals. All of our lives shattered by the Institute. Covenant is primarily about administering and refining the safe test. But some consider the humanitarian side equally as important. If you destroy what's left here, their lives will be upended again.
Don't kill the girl. Spare her.
I suggest you hand her over. Right now.
Impossible. The odds are too great she's an Institute infiltrator. Even if she is an unfortunate victim in this war, sparing her can compromise everything.
Continue your work then.
Wrong move, soldier. This woman's work was a threat, and she needed to be neutralized.
Excellent. First, the loose end.
Okay, folks, so Dance didn't like that. I was not sure about liking it myself too much. So we're going to go back to the beginning using our auto save, and we're going to start that dialogue over.
That stuff's poison. The sooner you realize it, the better.
Outsiders aren't allowed. Why are you here?
I just want answers about Stockton's caravan, nothing more.
I'll take you to see Dr. Chambers. She'll know what to do about you. Don't try anything funny. You've been warned.
As you can see, folks, those quick saves are pretty important. Allows you to...
Blythe! Hey, Blythe!
Yes, what is it, Manny?
I thought you guys were done with Subject 12.
Oh, yes, the interview's over. I'm just reviewing the data on question 4. It's fascinating, really.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Certainly.
The quick save allows you to return to a point in time that you can change the outcome of a dialogue or an action. So my suggestion, folks, if you're not already doing it, please remember to do your quick save before you engage in any type of dialogue or combat where the outcome could be less in your favor.
Hey, Extend the platform. Showed up on our doorstep. What was I supposed to do?
So another thing to remember, folks, is that I am going against the Institute. We are all going against the Institute in this game. So part of the reason I answered that last dialogue the way that I did was because the Institute is my mortal enemy. So for me, anybody going against the Institute shall be a friend, not a foe. But apparently Paladin Dance did not like this lady's work, or this doctor's work, and he feels that she needs to be stopped.
Stockton's caravan has arrived. Do you even know that his supposed daughter is in all likelihood a synth? No, ma'am. Let me be upfront about this. There are two ways this meeting can end. We come to an agreement, or there's violence.
There are no other options?
Too much is at stake to allow you to simply leave. Let me pose a question to you. What would you do if your family was destroyed by a synth right in front of you when you were but a child? Would you roll over and accept it? Or would you do something about it?
I'd make them pay.
Then you do understand. It may not look like it, but there's a war being fought. As long as the Institute walks invisibly amongst us, they strike without warning and control us from the shadows. I've dedicated my life to devising a test to detect these hidden synths, to root them out so they can be extinguished. Isn't that a goal worth fighting for?
Someone needs to destroy the Institute.
A perfectly rational response. A living synth is indistinguishable from a human by any medical test yet devised. But it turns out psychology can detect a difference. Enter the safe test. The test is in its infancy, but through sacrifice and perseverance, our success rate is improving.
If you can get that test to work, that could be a game changer.
And then everything we've done will be justified. Covenant is many things. A refuge for the broken people left in the wake of the Institute's rampages. A place of safety and healing. But most importantly, it is our one chance to end this age of paranoia. I will make you a deal. If you let me dispose of Stockton's synth and continue our work, I'll match whatever reward you were offered.
Wait. Covenant's a refuge?
Over the years, we've recruited like-minded individuals. All of our lives shattered by the Institute. Covenant is primarily about administering and refining the safe test. But some consider the humanitarian side equally as important. If you destroy what's left here, their lives will be upended again.
Sorry. That's a deal I won't accept.
Then you'll just have to kill me.
Oh, come on, Dance. What do you want from me here? This is insane. There's no right or wrong. I mean, there's a couple right answers that get Dance happy, but then you make the choice of rejecting the offer. Dance disliked that. You accept the offer, and Paladin Dance dislikes that as well. So a little bit confusing dialogues here, folks, but now we know where this lady is located. we will just navigate right on over to where she is ourselves.
You shouldn't be in here.
Yeah, I know. You guys should be moving out of my way, though.
Stranger. Stranger. Stranger.
We made a wrong turn, folks. But in any case, we will navigate over to where we need to go, talk to the doctor, open the dialogue, and see
So the one investigating Stockton's caravan
if we can make a
has
different choice.
Do you even know that his supposed daughter is in all likelihood a synth? No matter. Let me...
Right. I'd prefer a peaceful solution.
As would I. Let me pose a question to you. What would you do? Would you roll over and accept it? Or would you do something about it?
I'd make them pay.
Then you do understand. It may not look like it, but there's a war being fought. As long as the Institute walks invisibly amongst us, they strike without warning and control us from the shadows. I've dedicated my life to devising a test to detect these hidden synths, to root them out so they can be extinguished. Isn't that a goal worth fighting for?
Who really knows what the Institute is responsible for?
And how do they manage to keep us in the dark? A living synth is indistinguishable from a human by any medical test yet devised. But it turns out psychology can detect a difference. Enter the safe test. The test is in its infancy, but through sacrifice and perseverance, our success rate is improving.
If you can get that test to work, that could be a game changer.
And then everything we've done will be justified. Covenant is many things. A refuge for the broken people left in the wake of the Institute's rampages. A place of safety and healing. But most importantly, it is our one chance to end this age of paranoia. I will make you a deal. If you let me dispose of Stockton's synth and continue our work, I'll match whatever reward you were offered.
Continue your work then.
Wrong move, soldier. This woman's work was a threat, and she needed to be neutralized.
Excellent. First, the loose end.
Alright, folks, so it seems like we cannot get this dialogue right. We're going to try again. It's important that we gain Paladin Dance's trust and his respect, and we do that through dialogue and through him liking the outcome. And so far, you know, what we're trying to do is reach infinity with him, or a level of respect that he'll always follow us no matter what we do. And so this dialogue, I have a feeling, is pretty important.
So the
Like,
one
it's at an important
investigating
crossroad
Stockton's
here.
caravan has arrived. Do you even know that his... No matter. Let me be upfront about this. There are two ways this meeting can end. We come to an agreement, or there's violence.
I'd prefer a peaceful solution.
As would I. Let me pose a question to you. What would you do if your family was destroyed by a synth right in front of you when you were but a child? Would you roll over and accept it? Or would you do something about it?
So it's going to be important, folks, that I gain some of Paladin Dance's likes here, or trust here, because I'm going to lose some in the end either way.
I'd make them pay.
Then you do understand. It may not look like it, but there's a war being fought. As long as the Institute walks invisibly amongst us, they strike without warning and control us from the shadows. I've dedicated my life to devising a test to detect these hidden synths, to root them out so they can be extinguished. Isn't that a goal worth fighting for?
Someone needs to destroy the Institute.
A perfectly rational response. A living synth is indistinguishable from a human by any medical test yet devised. But it turns out psychology can detect a difference. Enter the safe test. The test is in its infancy, but through sacrifice and perseverance, our success rate is improving.
If you can get that test to work, that could be a game changer.
And then everything we've done will be justified. Covenant is many things. A refuge for the broken people left in the wake of the Institute's rampages. A place of safety and healing. But most importantly, it is our one chance to end this age of paranoia. I will make you a deal. If you let me dispose of Stockton's sin and continue our work, I'll match whatever reward you were offered.
Jesus, if I reject it.
Covenant's a refuge?
Over the years, we've recruited like-minded individuals. All of our lives shattered by the Institute. Covenant is primarily about administering and refining the safe test. But some consider the humanitarian side equally as important. If you destroy what's left here, their lives will be upended again.
Sorry. That's a deal I won't accept.
Then you'll just have to kill him.
Don't try anything.
Dance does not like if I reject the offer, and he don't like if I accept the offer. So we're at a catch-22, folks. But we're going to try to speed this along, move it along, and just get to the dialogue part where we are asking the doctor, where we're making the decision to like or dislike. This time I'm going to choose to accept the offer just to prove that Dance don't like either decision.
Do you even know that his supposed daughter is in all likelihood a sin?
Blah, blah, blah.
Let me be upfront about this. There are two ways this meeting can end. We come to an agreement, or
What you
there's
looking at?
violence.
What you looking at? What you looking at, huh? Huh? What do you want, lady?
There are no other options?
Too much is at stake to allow you to simply leave. Let me pose a question to you. What would you do if your family was destroyed by a synth right in front of you when you were but a child? Would you roll over and accept it? Or would you do something about it?
What happened to you?
In Diamond City, a lifetime ago, my parents and 8 others were massacred by someone. At first, we thought the maniac was human. But that was the day we learned of the Institute's latest creations, the synths. As long as the Institute walks invisibly amongst us, they strike without warning and control us from the shadows. I've dedicated my life to devising a test to detect these hidden synths, to root them out so they can be extinguished. Isn't that a goal worth fighting for?
A war? Really? Is it that bad?
Hundreds of kidnappings over the years. Ask the survivors if it's really that bad. And there are so many other tragedies that may be their responsibility as well.
Someone needs to destroy the Institute.
A perfectly rational response. A living synth is indistinguishable from a human by any medical test yet devised. But it turns out psychology can detect a difference. Enter the safe test. The test is in its infancy, but through sacrifice and perseverance, our success rate is improving.
If you can get that test to work, that could be a game changer.
And then everything we've done will be justified. Covenant is many things. A refuge for the broken people left in the wake of the Institute's rampages. A place of safety and healing. But most importantly, it is our one chance to end this age of paranoia. I will make you a deal. If you let me dispose of Stockton's sin and continue our work, I'll match whatever reward you were offered.
Don't kill the girl. Spare her.
I suggest you hand her over. Right now.
Impossible. The odds are too great she's an Institute infiltrator. Even if she is an unfortunate victim in this war, sparing her can compromise everything.
Continue your work then.
Wrong move, soldier. This woman's work was a threat, and she needed to be neutralized.
Excellent. First, the loose end.
So let's see what she's gonna do to poor Amelia. Let me go and get a look at her. Of course, we can't tell if she's a synth or not, but if she looks...
She's here for a reason. Let's find out why.
Please don't hurt me.
There.
What happened to you?
The men.
The Covenant has a lot more to offer.
So let's go back. We're gonna try and circumvent this dialogue. We're gonna go and try and talk to Amelia first. Skip past the doctor and try and rescue this girl. I'm pretty sure that's not gonna work, so I'm gonna head over here first and then do a quick save. Because I got a feeling I'm gonna have to try a couple things to get around this dialogue to retrieve a more preferable outcome. So here I'm gonna quick save before she engages me. I'm gonna go around her.
So the one investigating Stockton's caravan has arrived. Do you even know that his supposed daughter...
It's not in there.
Let me be upfront about this. There are two.
Good thing I brought all my bobby pins. This one seems to be pretty tough. It's a master lock, come on. One of the cheapest locks to pick. Jeez. Any more? Oh, well, you were down here running your chops.
Don't try anything.
Yeah, shut up, dude. I was over there picking your locks. You also got some goodies over here and a terminal.
Developing this level of technology is a lot more
I'm free.
I think we're being stalked. Nice try.
Looks like we had to neutralize her anyway, folks. And now we're in for a serious gunfight. I go up here and check Manny's pockets. I'm pretty sure he's got some goodies in there. We freed the girl, so we're gonna leave it at that. I mean, there's really not a whole lot in going back through the dialogue again. Looks like I found the most optimal solution, which is satisfying everyone, me included. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, folks. And if I could just figure out what I picked up that's adding so much weight. Ah, 10mm pistol. Yep, Dance, let's get up here to higher ground.
Think you're clever? Not getting past me. Weapons pulled.
Next. Where'd this guy go? Dude, the doctor's dead already. Well, Covenant, too bad we couldn't do any type of deal. I mean, I didn't really want to destroy your little coat here, but coats are bad, so I really didn't care about the coat so much. I did care that you guys they were fighting against the Institute for the greater good of humanity. But it seems like they had some issues that we were not going to be able to get around. But, you know, I think their little test with making sure that we didn't have a scent would work. I didn't see too much harm in that. I have no idea what vegetable starch is. Let's see. Adhesive. Yeah, get out of here. I didn't see too much harm in that. I thought the test would have been a good thing, but apparently the way the dialogue is set up, it's you can't win.
Missions must be protected.
Oh, that's the front door. Look at this. As you can see, folks, it definitely was not a factor of me not being able to handle these guys. It was just a factor that I didn't want things to have to end this way. Which apparently it's obviously going to work out better for me that it did in this way. It's not going to take all their little goodies, check all their pockets, take all their good stuff, eject their fusion cores, and just play the game from a different angle. So playing the game with, you know, from a combat standpoint is actually funner. But, you know, you gotta think that you don't really want to get into combat with everyone. I mean, I'd love to be able to just take the approach of, you know, kill them all. But, you know, sometimes that don't work out well either. And it looks like those great mentats lasted quite a while. I could have had other dialogues and did just fine. So I'm gonna go up this way and see. Wow, this. Whoa. What kind of doctor carries a freaking Tech 9? What was that? He had a nice little weapon on him, but got a few shots off on me. Gotta love the way I put this guy down, right? Give me your iguana bits just for that. I mean, you gotta understand, like, why am I not losing any weight here? What do I have? Well, I mean, stills no name. Okay, it's heavy oil canister. I mean, I need that. So
hey,
Dance,
what do you want?
I need you to take this, buddy.
Want to swap some gear?
But you're heavy too, right? Oh no, you have no junk. Awesome. So there's got to be something good or something useful over here, because this doctor, Besides that, I mean, he was holding a mean 10mm automatic pistol. And that really, you know, didn't really say Mr. Friendly, right? Very unprofessional. I hate to see this. I'd hate to be seen by this doctor at a time of real time of need.
Huh? Hearing shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like slapping that guy. So is the terrorist gonna shoot at me? No, they're not. I'm gonna agree with you on that, Dance. There's got to be something around here that's better than what we found. So let's head back down, folks, and see if we missed anything. And make sure we killed everybody. We can't leave any witnesses. No witnesses. The other reason that I freed Amelia, folks, is being a man of my word. I had promised that I would find her and that I would free her. So the caravan guard paid me up front some caps. Of course, the doc offered me double, but a man's honor got to come in place somewhere, and I had to do the honorable thing, which is honor my initial agreement with the caravan owner, and that was to find his daughter and release her. So a bunch of moral stuff going on here, folks. At the end of the day, it's up to you to make your decision based on your own moral fiber. But for me, my moral fiber said that I should honor the initial agreement I had, even though it seemed as though these folks were doing things for the greater good of humanity. It ultimately turns out that they are some, you know, a cult, obviously, which is a bad thing, and their methods are not, their approach is a little bit unorthodox. Like, why torture, you know, you're torturing innocent people to administer this test. And, you know, honestly, I don't think it needed to be that way. You know, you could have issued your test. So, in other words, had I not passed their test at the gate over there, I would have wound up over here in one of these cells getting tortured. And I'm obviously a regular human that was frozen in a vault. So when you put all that into perspective, you have to think that, sure, they were doing, you know, something for the greater good of humanity, but it was causing a lot of heartache and grief, even though it was for a good cause. So all the way around, folks, just bad, bad, bad. And ultimately, you have to make a decision that's gonna work out in your favor. So I've made mine, folks, and at this particular time, I'm gonna head back out to the Covenant and see just how angry those folks are with me. Because at this point, folks, I might as well obliterate the whole entire camp. I'm either all in or not. So once again, folks, if you like my post here, I know this one was a little bit, you know, all over the place, being that I was trying to get the most attractive outcome from that dialogue. But as you can see, there is a lot of that in this game. If you haven't played it or you don't know, you will be faced with all those types of decisions. So I'm gonna try and show you guys the easiest way that I found to navigate back over to the Covenant side, and then I'm gonna show you guys where these 3 pipes are located once I get over there. So because I'm in the power armor, I can't swim, obviously, right? But I can walk on the bottom of the lake here. So I'm gonna head right over between there. I think that's gonna be a spot where I can get out of the water. But until then, I'm gonna walk around the edge of this until I get to going into the deeper parts. I'm gonna walk around the edge of this wall here because it keeps me above water. Even though I'm taking on radiation, I'll stay above water for a little bit until I absolutely need to start trying to cross. And then I like to try and head to the more shallowest point. And it looks like, you know, I'm not gonna try and get over to that other edge. There looks to be like, you know, a flat surface that I can get up on straight ahead over here. And the problem is, folks, you want to try and keep your head above water so that you can breathe, right? Unless you have the underwater perk, which would allow you to breathe underwater. All right, so from the Covenant, folks, hang on, folks, got a phone call coming through. Be right back at you. Sorry about that, folks. I had to take a quick call. It's really quick. My apologies. I hate when I get into oh, look at that. These guys are already trying to beef, but they're coming at me with pipes. Not really smart. Looks like I'm gonna have to wipe out everybody in the Covenant. But before I do this, I want to show you guys from the Covenant. That's the Covenant there. From there, straight across, those are 3 pipes that leads you down into their little secret coat, if you will. They call it something else. I call it a coat. Tomato, tomato. Yeah, well, I really don't want to come in here and destroy you guys, but you guys pick the fight first. Everybody's dying, dude. It doesn't matter who you are now. You too, Pops. Come and get some. Alright, Doc. You know, I'm starting to think these guys are the synths. I mean, I look at it like these guys don't even have any precious items. This is a shame because this was such a weird, nicely weird lady. Well, at least she didn't burst into flames, so now everything belongs to me. What the heck was that? Where's the other little guy at? Did we already kill him too? Well, now, you know, I think we're gonna just own the Covenant now. Why not? Stick a couple people over here and call it ours. Kind of liked her too, but you know, you live and you love and you lose and you win. So, typical, folks. Not being able to satisfy everybody. Well, we still got the robot. It seems to be pretty loyal. And where is this other guy for my payment?
After a long day, nothing beats Jesus lemonade.
Hey, Deezer.
Fresh lemonade, yeah.
All right. So that's the end of the Covenant, folks. We're gonna go over here and talk to the guy we made the deal with. I forget if he's a merchant or if he is just a mercenary. But we're gonna talk to him and get our final payment. I'm gonna let you guys see what he gives me as far as our final payment, and then we'll end our broadcast. So once again, folks, like, share, post your comments, provide your feedback. All comments are welcome. All feedback is welcome. I would appreciate any type of criticism, you know, that you guys anyone would like to provide that would help me critique my video etiquette and make me a better commentator. With that being said, folks, as soon as we locate where this guy is, we will get our So this is really not making a lot of sense. It says to find the location of the secret compound, find Old Man Stockton. So things are getting pretty weird. Looks like Old Man Stockton is at Bunker Hill. So let's go find Old Man Stockton. Then we'll know if we made the right choice with our decision as far as letting his daughter go. I mean, it's really hard to tell in this game. Old Man Stockton could be a synth. His daughter could be a synth. We could have just made the bad choice by killing everybody at the Covenant. But you know, what can we say? What can we do, folks? If it turns out that is the case, I did a quick save, I can always go back, right? So let's keep that in mind, keep that in perspective. But I'm truly interested in seeing exactly what type of reward we get. You know, I did run into these folks a while back.
Mom runs the surgery, so you better be nice to me.
They didn't seem to be hostile or synths. So here's old man Stockton. I remember.
The missing caravan, the contract's already been picked up. There you are. You're the one that rescued my Amelia. From what she told me, it sounds just horrible. Just horrible.
Dr. Chambers said Amelia was a synth. Is that true?
Is that what they said? That whole compound sounds insane. Amelia's my daughter, and that is that. You've helped my family out dearly, and for that, you deserve a reward. I had hired a mercenary to do the job. Clearly, I should have hired you instead, eh? Thank you.
Yeah, well, you didn't tell me if...
Stockton.
I run 3 caravans that travel throughout the Commonwealth.
You didn't tell me if Amelia was a synth. You evaded my question. So, folks, I'm gonna just leave it as it was.
Dance?
Can I help?
Your thoughts?
There's brotherhood, then there's everything else. Nothing in between.
How do you feel about us?
You're one hell of a soldier, and I'm proud to call you my friend.
That was it?
Not a problem.
So every once in a while, folks, you gotta check in with Dance.
From Good Neighbor or Diamond City? Odds are it's been delivered by my men.
Old man Stockton.
If you ever find yourself needing to buy or sell something, especially in bulk, talk to one of my employees in the market.
Alright, he's got nothing else to say to us about his daughter.
I can't believe Kessler keeps us telling me.
I can't find his daughter. So, folks, we're gonna turn this one in. We already did. We got 300 caps though, which was a pretty good payment. And so we're gonna stick with that, and we're just gonna call it a quest complete. So until next time, folks, like, share, give me that thumbs up, post your feedback, your comments, help make me become a better commentator. Tell me what you like or dislike about my videos. Until next time, folks, it's your boy D-Man out. Have a good one.